Howdy howdy, it's the Dreadful DM or just Jordan, and today I want to talk about a situation where I might have ruined my entire campaign for my players. This is kind of more off the cuff video, and I just want to talk about a situation I put myself in where I'm allowing my players to introduce new playable characters for them to mess around with, interact the world with, but they're still able to play with their current characters that are still actively in the middle of a arc. And I want to talk about the situation where I might just end up ruining the flow of the whole thing and it might be completely jank, or unless I pull my Brennan Lee Mulligan type and just log in and somehow run a West like style March game or West March game with only 3 people. So let's see how this goes. And I just want to talk about my mindset and things I'm kind of worried about for the campaign moving forward. If that sounds interesting, if you just want to hear a guy kind of struggle with the situation he put himself in, then just tag along and just listen for a little bit. But let's get right into it. So you may be looking at me right now and wondering, why did I decide to let my players introduce new characters in the middle of an arc? And I will simply look at you, and I will not tell you a lie. I do not know. It makes my life that much more difficult, infinitely more stressful, and just trying to plan stuff to make sure that we don't end up in a situation where one person is giving us a one-man play and they're just jumping back and forth between the 2 characters. It is going to just be a lot more stressful on myself to assure that things run smoothly. And in this West March style game with only 3 people but 6 different characters, it's going to be just an amazing time. And I'm sure DMs and different parties before have been able to run it perfectly, but I am just 1 year into fully DMing, and it is a daunting task, let me tell you what. And I kind of lied. I kind of know why I've let my players do this, because the campaign was originally pitched as a 5 to 7 session type of quick expeditious romp. It was a thing where 2 of the 3 players in this campaign are new to D&D. They never played it before. They never played a TTRPG before, a D&D like what have you. It is a new experience for them, so I wanted to give them a quick, fun, easy type of campaign that is very focused on the mechanics and kind of just learning how to roleplay in aspects like this, and let them see if they enjoyed it. But turns out they really enjoyed it, and they want to continue the campaign or continue playing D&D. And I thought, well, we already have this campaign, let's just keep on using it and keep on rolling, baby. But the problem with that is the way they built the characters, it was more on the one-dimensional side, because they weren't meant to be a long-term project. It was meant to be just a month thing and just keep it rolling. Maybe try something more later on, build new characters, what have you. But they just built these one-dimensional characters, and they've been playing it as such. They've been trying to do more and try to loosen them up and give them more gray areas in some aspect and just try to have more fun with it. But in terms of how much they put into just like the type of style and type of personality these characters have, I almost feel like they feel pigeonholed in some aspects, and they want to do something more. They want to try different mechanics, try harder ones, try different classes, try more morally gray people, and see where that lands them. And I fully support that, and I feel bad because I kind of lied to them, not purposefully, and I didn't even know it was going to happen like this, but it was a lie nonetheless, you know? So I wanted to kind of make up for past mistakes and give them the opportunity to. But why I decided to do this right now is something that maybe I will come to regret in just a week's time, because it's going to be an interesting situation to plan, because they're going to have to interact with themselves, with the other characters at some point. There is not going to be a situation where I'm going to have them 100% separate the whole time, because the way I've introduced them and the way they're interlinked with each other already, that's going to be difficult. And I'm going to have to accept with the fact there's going to be some self-talk. There's going to be some like, hey, my name is the Hunter, just one guy going back and forth like that, maybe just for a couple interactions, and that's fine. But my goal is to still provide ample playing opportunities for both characters, and I'm going to want to explain how I'm going to try to achieve that. So the situation here is just how I'm going to try to run this game from moving forward, because now that we have multiple people, the same people playing multiple characters, there's going to be situations of downtime and the whole 6 of them interacting with each other where they're going to be talking to themselves. It's going to be impossible to eliminate all aspects of them just, talking to themselves and just having different interactions that way. If they're going to be next to each other, they're going to say hi to each other. There's going to be stuff like that, and I'm not going to try and fight it and avoid it because that's going to make it even more jank. It's like, just let's roll with the punches and keep it moving. But the way I'm going to try to prevent type of, I guess, one player getting a lot more screen time or a lot more importance and compared to other people is basically when they split off into teams of 3 into doing different aspects of the campaign to try and lead up to the main overarching goal of infiltrating a Met Gala that's meant to be in honor of them, but they're not invited, so that the whole politicking behind that. But it's this whole thing where they're gonna have to do a whole bunch of stuff to get to this final endpoint, and I'm gonna force them to split into two teams of 3, and they're gonna have to build compositions of these teams that they're not allowed to, double up on one player having 2 people in it, and they're gonna have to figure out and try to work with it. And that's my one rule to all of this. They're not allowed to kind of cheat and stack the deck so one player feels more important than the others, because that's not the point of D&D. We're all starting to have fun. So in that terms, and I'm going to force them to make decisions and think, and who's going to be better for this situation, who's better for more straight to hand combat, who's better for range, who's better for actually talking, who's better for sneaking around so you don't have to deal with the diplomats or whatever. Different aspects of just trying to learn how to play the game with these new, I guess, twist on it, more viability of options, but more ways to screw up in this exact same way. It's going to be really fun to see, and that's the aspect I'm really excited to see. And that's another reason why I might have let them actually do this, because it's a situation where I can have more opportunity to mess around and try sneaky, fun, cool ways to mess with them, or different interactions or different battles or different compositions. And I have to think of ways to provide them a fair but challenging experience when it comes to like fighting. And it's going to be really interesting and fun. And of course, all the new characters are a lot of more just bratty and asshole to me. So it's going to be really fun to have kind of that, balance with it. Instead of more agreeable people, there's going to be a lot more people I want to punch, stuff like that. It's going to be a very fun time to kind of switch up the type of responses, instead of just like, okay, Grumpus is like blah blah, Fala is like this, Barrett is like this. So those are the 3 names of the characters in the campaign, not my friends. That's the 3 characters names, and so like I can always have just this thing ready for them. But judging by the team comps they play, maybe this person that I had has more of a Barrett type of mindset, who's much more straight line, no funny business, has to interact with a giggly man from, like, I guess, or was it like Hermes from the Epic, like the musical or something like that, or some type of musical they're watching, and he's like based off of that. I'm not sure why they got into musicals recently, but that's good for them, guys. It is a situation where I'm just gonna have to balance some things out and see how it goes and see how it runs, and I'm gonna have to live with the idea that if this thing crash and burns, it's because of me and only me. Because they can complain and be like, we don't want to try new characters, this and that. And I can say, like, you know what? That will happen at the end of this arc. Or like, no new characters. This is the characters you have until they die or something. I could have been more strict or more hardline or more unforgiving with that different aspect. But I realized I messed up in the beginning, and I want them to have a fun time. But I can also say, if they try to abuse this aspect of power, I will ultimately turn their player into the character. I will simplify them into the core components, if you catch my drift. So it's going to be a fun time, it's going to be an interesting time, and it's ultimately going to be a very stressful time for myself. And I'm just going to maybe come back in a week or 2 and give you a little bit of a situation update and a little bit of a recap of how it is. If I'm like in the trash can and by like somewhere in like downtown Chicago, things went horribly wrong or horribly right. We'll see what happens. But that's all I wanted to do kind of today, just yap for a little bit. And I'll just go on to my little bit closing remarks right now. Yeah, D&D, it's fun, it's exciting, it's stressful, and it's ultimately all those things depending on how much you want them to be. And I decided to do all 3 at the exact same time, and my head's going to explode. But that's besides the point, and I will talk to y'all later. No, okay. But I hope you guys enjoyed the little short rant type of off-the-cuff video. I've been trying to release more videos recently. I have my friends helping me out with that. They're sweethearts. I love them so much. Love you guys. Alex and Assassin, you guys are amazing. But it is a fun time. I love just making YouTube videos. I love just yapping and talking. If you notice that their editing styles, that you've seen Assassin's video, probably if you've seen this video, this last video he posted about me 1 year, and well, I posted about me 1 year. 1 year. Oh my god, me being a DM for 1 year. It is just a recap of me actually running this campaign for my friends for a year, and it is a very fun video because my friend edited it and he's so much better at editing than me. Like, I'm going to edit this video. It's going to be very simple, very bare bones, but I'm enjoying it. You know, I'm having a fun time trying to do this whole uploading videos stuff, and it's been really fulfilling and rewarding in many aspects of just finally seeing a fully produced video like actually out there in the wild, and actually sometimes get like a couple hundred views is insane. It's wild and it's really fun. So, but yeah, hope you guys enjoy the new style of videos I'll be trying to produce in the future, and hopefully y'all don't hate me, and that's just wonderful. But I hope you guys took a walk today. It's good for yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically. But yeah, I will talk to y'all later. Yeah.